Hi, I'm Nancy Barrow, the engagement manager and podcast host for Connecticut Paid Leave. And this is a new interview segment called 5 Minutes of Impact, short but powerful conversations with Connecticut Changemakers. And our changemaker today is Jendayi Scott-Miller, the founder and CEO of the Angel of Edgewood. And hi, Jendayi. Welcome to 5 Minutes of Impact.
Thank you. Thank you all so much for having me.
Well,
I'm
it's so
excited.
nice. It's so nice to have you here, and I can't wait to talk to you.
Thank you.
Well, let's start at the beginning. Give me some background. Tell us about the Angel of Edgewood. What do you do and who do you serve?
Okay, so Angel of Edgewood officially started 5 years ago. However, the work in the community I've been doing my entire life, starting on Edgewood Street, being raised by my grandparents. I actually reside in the house right next door to where I was born and raised. And so their house was the house in the community that if anybody needed anything, that's where they came. Food, clothing, no matter what, they were there for everyone. And so where I have relationships on both sides of the city. As you know, our city can be so divided north and south. My grandfather worked at Hartford Schools at Weaver, and my grandmother taught at Prince Tech. But no matter who needed what, they came from all over to Edgewood Street. And so at the height of the pandemic, I was recovering from uterine cancer. I was on a ventilator in a coma. I was very ill and had just gotten out of the convalescent home at the height of the pandemic. And my mom had received a call from some seniors looking for food because everything was shut down. And I said, hey, I cook, I'll make them some meals. And everyone was like, no, you have to recover. And I was like, no, my doctor said I need to get around and, not get any blood clots so I can cook, but I just can't deliver. And so I made some meals for some seniors. I couldn't drive. I put a message out on Facebook, and from there, we had these volunteers step up for a week. And from there, all the seniors that we helped called their other friends and said, hey, if you needed a meal, and it was only supposed to be like this one-time deal that had this huge ripple effect and turned into what we are today. And so I just don't like telling anyone no. And my grandparents, they had eight kids. I was considered the ninth one. And so every time they cooked, it was like catering. We never had small casserole dishes or anything. So, we just always have food and are prepared to take care of anyone in need.
Your story is so amazing, Jendayi. It's just incredible. How can our viewers or listeners get in touch with Angel of Edgewood and how can they work with you?
So they can contact me. My phone number is public 224-258-9497. Text is much easier. So right now we are on Franklin Avenue. We just closed on our building last year with the help of Governor Lamont and House Speaker Matt Ritter. We're in a 17,000 square foot warehouse. And right now we are in the process of a construction project renovating the building. We are getting ready to launch our food truck. We have a food truck for the homeless. They are finishing the logos and lettering on that right now that we'll be deploying anytime. And the purpose of this food truck is to be able to serve people during the most critical hours. And so oftentimes soup kitchens, community cafes, they close fairly early by 4 or 5 o'clock. There's no food available in the evenings. There's definitely no soup kitchens, or not many of them on the north end, and no access on holidays and weekends. So this truck will be deployed during the most critical times in the community all over. We'll have a calendar of when and where we'll be. And so we will be looking for community volunteers, donors, sponsors, partners. We already have Access Health CT on board, Hartford Healthcare. And so when we're out and we're serving food from the trucks, because this isn't our first time, this is the first time it's our truck, but we had rented other trucks in the past. So this one is our own. And our partners would come out and it would be like their volunteer day for their staff, or whatever it is. And in addition to the food that will be distributed in Hartford Healthcare, we will have neighborhood health, the trucks that come out, and they'll be able to get on-site medical services, get triage, and if they need to be taken in for more in-depth care, they'll be able to take them right over.
Oh my goodness, you do so much for the community.
So,
It's amazing. It really
yes.
is amazing. And that's all the time we have on 5 Minutes of Impact. I can't believe how fast that went.
Wow.
Short but powerful conversations
Yes,
with
yes,
Connecticut
yes.
Changemakers. And I want to thank you so much, our Connecticut Changemaker, Jendayi Scott-Miller, the founder and CEO of Angel of Edgewood, because you really are the Angel of Edgewood. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm Nancy Barrow. For a deeper dive into Connecticut paid leave, please listen to the Paid Leave podcast on our website at ctpaidleave.org. And thanks for joining us.